All right, here we go. This is my react to Simon Goliath's 1-year transformation. I chose this very simply because this is the textbook best example I know of the standard bro diet way of just crash losing a bunch of weight. And this has also got a couple tidbits in here that are going to be perfect for me to explain why I didn't just do this, why I decided not to do this. And so here we go.
We had 1 year ago, and then I just met up with Martina, and I'm going to post the next conversation that we had today. Although this is more for documentation purposes, there's some really cool stuff that happened today, and I hope you enjoy this video as much as I've enjoyed this entire journey so far with you. I gotta hydrate before I tell you this, because it's kind of ridiculous. All right.
They like
Zen yourself, ready spiritually, mentally.
I'm ready for this.
Physically for this news. All right. So, if you know me, you know I only do extremes. I don't do half of anything. I just send it. And your post today for the camera was really, it touched sort of exactly what I'm about to attempt.
Touched your soul.
Yeah, and the post was, what was the post again?
I will say I share that personality trait in that if I actually decide to do something, I do it extreme. It's just getting me to do something is like moving a fucking mountain.
Your weight loss.
You're right, yeah. Your weight loss journey can't come from a place of shame.
Shame, yeah.
It has to come, I don't remember what else it was, but like, I feel like every time I try to lose.
Very important part, your weight loss journey can't come from a place of shame. That's why I didn't lose weight for all my life, because that's where my mindset was at with it. I wanted to lose it for the wrong reasons. It was for vanity reasons. It was about what people would think, people thought about me or all that. And then you need to, whereas start with last November to here, the reason why I've been consistent is, as I've discussed many times, in part it was to honor my mom. That's part of what all this is. It's me showing my nieces how much I love them by doing what I've never been able to do with them as a main motivator. And there's other reasons, but yeah, so that's why I'm sticking with it, because there's substance to the reason I'm losing this fat. It's not just to look pretty.
Wait, aggressively, that's what it was. It was always like, I'm ashamed to take off my shirt, so I'm gonna lose a bunch of weight so I can go pick up girls because I look good now, right? That was always my initial, but I mean, I spent last weekend walking around shirtless in a competition because I didn't give a shit anymore. It is one of those things like, I don't care.
Nice.
And there it is. Y'all want to know why I walk around with my shirt off and go to the park with my shirt off? Part of it is I just enjoy it. And the reason I do enjoy it so much now is I'm actually working, and so I feel good. So I don't care that I'm fat, and I don't care what anyone thinks or if someone judges me or anything like that, because I mean, I'm putting in the work, so you think whatever you want. If you don't like it, you can avert your eyes elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing I care about is my ass crack showing. I try and make sure my ass crack's not showing just because I feel that's tacky, and I don't want to look at someone else's ass crack. And I've gotten to the point where for the first time in my life, I actually keep my shorts up. My gut is always kept so like that much of my ass crack was showing, but now I can keep it all the way up to where maybe like only that much is showing, and you have to really be looking. And so if you're really looking at my ass, then whatever, that's on you.
And what I'm about to do here, what I'm about to attempt, is the craziest shit I'll ever do in my life. But I've noticed again that whenever I do a goal, whenever I set a goal, I fucking follow through.
That's true.
I always follow through. Like my goal right now was to do 1 strongman show. I did 3. And now I'm going to finally listen for the first time to my body and to my friends' advice. Yes. Martina, Max, Sam, they're all telling me the same thing. Which is, you're too fat.
No, I never said that.
Not in those words. But
I never said that.
it's like, because right now I weigh 360 something pounds. So every step I take is like having like a 100-pound dumbbell attached to my back.
Yep.
And for no reason.
Yep.
When I could not have 100. Imagine what I could do physically if I didn't have that.
I told
extra,
you this.
Right? Hey,
And what I said also.
Now, first of all, let's just break that down real quick. Where he's starting at, I've been at since I was 12. Actually 11. I was over 350 when I was 11. So let's just, for starters, where he's starting at his biggest as a strongman after he's been lifting all this, I've been that big since I was 11 years old. So that's a key thing that, you know, I think is important for y'all to understand. I don't think y'all fully grasp and understand that. And that's with me running around still playing sports and basketball and softball and unorthodox. Where I was at, I didn't have access to organized sports, sadly. And I was always too big for Pee Wee when I was able. I mean, again, even when I was like 8 years old, I was too big for Pee Wee for the highest age limit, because I was like 150 pounds when I was 7 years old.
Is that you're already in a good routine of getting to the gym, doing those workouts, which most people lack. Like, most people are not even consistent with workouts. You are. So all you need to do is just add the nutrition part, and you're gonna freaking kill it.
So, what I'm going to attempt, what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna preempt this by saying that I'm not gonna change the way I train all that much. Obviously, some things will have to be added to achieve this. But I'm going to keep doing my strongman training because I love it. Obviously, I'm going to lower the weights a little bit to strengthen all my little muscles that are having trouble right now, because everything hurts. But I'm going to pick a date. I'm going to show up no matter what happens, no matter what I look like by then, no matter what it is. But I'm going to follow through on this, and I'm going to pick and attend next year a bodybuilding show.
No. No.
Yes.
You're not.
I'm going to. That's the goal. I'll probably have a lot of stretchy skin by then, because I'm going to be aggressive with my weight loss. Yes.
And that's the main difference. From the very beginning, he had that mindset. That's what he was wanting to do. He's going to lose it quick. He's going to have stretchy skin and all that. Ironically, he's actually done really, we'll get to that later, but he's done really good. He's actually, again, I'm using him for multiple reasons, and one reason is he is the only person since I have started this that has made me question whether I'm doing what I should be doing or if I should go this route, because his transformation is so impressive, and in my opinion is the model for this if you want to go this route. Now, there's still issues with it, and we're going to get to that, and even they talk about it, and she especially touches on it. But there's issues with that. It's not all peaches and cream, but when you go that route, I don't think anyone's ever done it better than he. It's that I've seen. He's a fucking perfect role model for it. And but that's his mindset from the very beginning. I'm just going to lose as fast as possible. I'm a bunch of loose skin. And ironically, he actually doesn't have very much loose skin at all. He actually did really good with that.
I'm going to zoom in on that so hard. It's going to be
Are
good.
you?
I'm going to do it. So I was looking at, there's one in Calgary around like end of May, June-ish. So yeah, that's what it was this year. So hopefully it'll be around the same dates next year. So I'll just sign up for it the second that the signups are up, and I'm gonna send it.
Are you?
I'm gonna give it everything I got.
Fuck!
Yeah.
I told.
Now, this is also a big contrast. I don't do well with timelines. Now, I set a goal and I'll do it, or if I say I'm gonna do something, I do it. It's a timeline is when I will always unconscious. That's just, I don't know why. I don't even care. It is what it is. It's just who I am. You put me in a box and I will smash that box into 1,000 fucking pieces. You will not contain me in a box. So I'm gonna do this by this time. Does not work ever. Whether it's myself putting that on me or someone else trying to put a collar around me or a cage, I will smash that fucker into 1 trillion fucking gazillion pieces. You do not contain me in a box. And I just learned that, I just finally figured that out. And that's, so I'm 250 pounds, body recomposition, building muscle within a reasonable time. That's why I've used that language, because if I say I'm going to do this in that amount of time, I'm going to sabotage that. That's just maybe that's changed now, or maybe that will change, but as of now and throughout my life, me and timelines or constraints or boxes do not fucking work. No. Do not put me in a box.
You know.
I know how hard it's gonna be mentally before and after.
You know what I went through.
Yes, yeah. So I'm gonna do my best. It's like, realistically, if I could get to like, let's say 12-13% body fat, that'd be fucking fantastic. And so that's the thing. I'm not going there to win. Because if I go there to win, I'm only gonna be disappointed. I don't have the body to to be a bodybuilder.
Just to do it, yeah.
Exactly. My core is massive, right? Because of all because of being fat my whole life. So my obliques are going to be bigger than more.
That's a great example of mind fucking yourself. He has the great body for it. After he's lost it, he has the waist. If he really wants to pursue it, and now he's lost some of his muscle, and he wants to bulk it up or whatever. His waist is actually really small since he got that fat off, and he lost a lot of that core that he used to have for a strongman. But we'll get into that.
Most people's waists, realistically, but I'm doing this just because I wanted to do this in college. I wanted to do it in university. And I fell off.
I inspire you.
You did.
I'm joking, but
but you did though. It's a mixture of you, Max, and Sam. The way you guys always follow through on your goals. You set a goal, you crush it. So and it's the same thing with strongman. I did it, and now I'm gonna be back to strongman. Absolutely, it's my love, 100%. But I need to listen to.
Another reason why I chose this video to react to explain all this is their relationship is very similar to the relationship I have with Brad Lamb, the personal trainer that took me under his wing when I was 19, that taught me basically the foundation of everything that I know, and then I've just built on that over the years. That's where I learned the negatives and all that. But Brad Lamb, if you're new here, you don't know, you're not familiar with, he was a personal trainer that took me under his wing when I was 19. My sister was getting trained by him while she was visiting us, and then that's how I found out. So I went in there and talked to him, but I was broke at the time. I wasn't, I don't know. I don't remember exactly why, but he basically ended up training me for free. And they got paid for like a month or two, and then just for whatever reason, anyways, I couldn't afford it, but he still paid me. He coached me on the food. He trained me 3 times a week. Basic push, pull, leg split. Very OG, typical bodybuilder lifting, which is why I don't necessarily do that, because I don't feel like it worked on a lot, like sitting there doing super strict, controlled, slow curls that are 30, 40 pounds. I didn't build shit. That's he really went out of his way to help me. But guess what? And it was a typical diet, oat bran with like 5 egg whites and 2 whole eggs, I think was a typical breakfast. And then lunch would be something like cottage cheese or freaking quinoa, chicken, and broccoli, right? Something like that. That was a very typical meal: quinoa, chicken, broccoli, and then oat bran, egg whites, or cottage cheese and something, which I still like to this day. But basically, it was that typical diet, and I would do it for 3 to 5 days, usually during the week, and then come the weekend, that cheat meal turned into I would just blow my load every fucking weekend, and I would eat whole cream cakes, or literally I'd make a big pot of rice and just eat the whole fucking thing with like a stick of butter and a half gallon of fucking soy sauce. Y'all think I'm joking, but I'm maybe not a half gallon, but I mean literally my rice was brown and full of butter. Or I'd make like a big thing I used to make cheesy thing, or I'd make like a bunch of rice with chicken, then I'd throw like a brick of fucking cream cheese in there, a stick of butter, and a bunch of fucking shredded cheese. You know what I mean? Or like as far as the sweets go, I mean cream cakes, bro, or like muffins. I've never been a big candy person or soda thing, but I will obliterate a cream cheesecake. Not a cheesecake, a cream cake. I'm actually not a big, I like cheesecake every once in a while, but I don't really, it's not something I really crave at all. But cream cakes, pound cakes, shit like that, muffins, bro. And so yeah, that I couldn't help it. Every time, I never, ever, ever once went more than a week eating right. I just couldn't do it until these last 9 months. Low carb, high protein, ketovore. That's been my godsend. That's why I do it more than anything.
My body, and I need to shed this entire other person I have sitting on me all the time. So I'm assuming I'll have to lose about 110, 20 pounds. It's possible. It's gonna be
my 6-year-old self. I was over 100 pounds when I was 5 years old.
Hard.
I'm at 4 years old. I was over 400 pounds. I was over 100 pounds when I was 4. 4.5 years old, I broke 100 pounds.
Call you at like 1 a.m.
And I was running around all the time outside for like 10, 12 hours a day. So I'm not just a fat blob eating fucking donuts sitting on my ass. I mean, I'm outside all the time. I'm living in a little 8x10 cabin out in the middle of Alaska woods, right? Outside playing all the time. Not eating well at all because we're dirt poor. My dad was a drunk and a crackhead. But, well, tweaker, he did a lot of meth, not fucking crack. But anyways, so that's just saying that's how I carry my weight. But I was literally over 100 pounds, and I was fucking before I was 5 years old. Just to put shit in perspective.
Sometimes I go like, Martina, I'm like so close to hitting order on my Ubers, on my Uber Eats. Convince me not to. You know what I mean?
Competing is hard.
It is. It is.
Like, it's hard.
Yeah.
But
I can already see the doubt in your face. But I'm gonna crush it. I don't give a shit.
But no, I mean, this is like one thing. You know how much I like don't.
When I was a toddler, my shoulders were wider than my legs were long. So, you know, when I was a toddler, I was wearing like fucking 7, 8-year-old kid clothes. When I was a baby, 6 months, I was wearing toddler clothes just because my shoulders were so wide. Unfortunately, like I said, I just grew up in a shit situation in the middle of buttfuck Egypt, so they didn't have access. They were too poor, so even the sports I could play, like hockey, I just couldn't afford it. I played hockey 1 or 2 seasons, and that was it. But I was always too big for Pee-wee, and anyways, yeah.
Like competing for several reasons.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was probably like one of the best experiences I put myself through, and hardest thing that I put myself through, and I don't regret at all. However, I know I will never ever probably compete again, but it was amazing experience, and it has like taught me a lot about myself and what I'm truly capable of. So I think that if you get to the finish line, just like you said, it's not for some people, including me, it wasn't about placing first. It was about just to prove myself I can do this.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, based on my eating disorder history, it was just like I just wanted to walk on the stage in those little tiny bikinis. And because I was always so like, shit, I want to show my body, because I hated my body, that like walking on the stage in the tiniest bikini ever was already like stepping outside of my comfort zone. So the moment I walked on the stage, I truly didn't care how I placed. I was just like, I'm here.
Yeah.
I won. Like this is my prize. Like I won. I don't care how I...
And that's honestly probably the goal for anybody doing a first bodybuilding show, I would imagine. Just, you know, knock off the rust buckets and also, you know, bodybuilding is just such a unique sport because you have no direct control over whether you win or not. Yes, you can prepare, you can be the best prepared, best looking bodybuilder, but at the end of the day, if a judge doesn't think so, then you don't win. So it's just complete subjective. So it's very unique in that sense that you have no direct control. You can't knock someone the fuck out and win. You know what I'm saying? It's 100% up to the judges. So it's interesting in that respect. It's basically a peacock show.
My place, I'm here, and I was the happiest. Like,
I'm gonna have to get a banana or something and put in that Speedo because I'm not ready for that. for that exposure, we'll call it.
I'm gonna cheer on you, like I'm gonna be in a party.
It's gonna be rough.
Like, fuck yes, forever!
I'm gonna have to do cardio like every single day. I'm gonna have to eat near perfectly.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to suffer for the next year. But if I can do this, I feel like losing all this weight.
And that's it. I don't want to suffer. I've suffered enough in my life. Shit that y'all don't. I'm not even gonna talk about it. It doesn't matter. I've suffered plenty in my life. I'm good. I'm good. I'm here to have fun and live. I'm living for the first time in my life. That's.
And keeping it off is gonna add like 10 years to my life.
Oh, dude, even more. Like, I mean, it's not, yeah, it's about just like the health part, right? Like you just fucking take care of your body till it's too late.
Like the reason why I even thought about doing this in the first place is because of my last blood fest. They were rough. Like it looks like a kid with a red crayon.
That's another stark contrast. I'm very blessed and thankful that, now I don't know what it was before I started all this. I didn't take my blood work before, but when I took it a couple months ago, it wasn't bad at all. The only thing that was really out of whack was my cholesterol. And there was a couple other things that were borderline high. But other than that, out of all the whole blood panel, there was only like 5 or 6 things that were in the red. And just about everything else was green. So that was pretty dope.
Went and have fun on the paper. Because like every single one of my things was in the red. Everything. So I think it's time to, and it's one of those things, like, yes, bodybuilding is the goal, like getting on stage is the goal, but as soon as my gastroenterologist is going to be very closely, like, because I get my blood test done every month, so it'll be easy to track, thank God. But the second that things start going south or start going weird, I'll stop. Like, I'm going to pull the plug, obviously. But I think that it's only going to go up from here, honestly.
I'm proud of you. I like having goals is the best, and I'm proud of you.
No. All right, flash forward to 6 months from now.
You got this.
Okay, wait. So let's say 100 pounds. We'll say 100 pounds just for the sake of cleanness, right? Like, if I was 260, I would probably look sick.
Who knows? I don't know.
I think so. So let's say we set the goal of 100 pounds in a year. That means about, give or take, 10 pounds a month. Well, actually, a little bit less than 10 pounds, about like 8 pounds a month. 8 pounds a month. I think it's very doable. I think that the first 30 are going to come off in the first like 2 weeks.
Oh no,
maybe a month. Like 20 pounds in a month, probably for the first 20.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of like water retention. It's gonna be a lot of like stuff like that.
That's definitely true. Mine went from 546 to that 515 in, what was it, like a week? 15 days, or even if that, I don't know, I have to check, but I lost that first 30 pounds like that.
Yeah. I'm gonna need your help.
I got you.
I'm gonna post a video every single day.
I got you. I got you.
See, this all sounded great.
And that's another thing, for better or for worse, I never wanted anyone to help me doing this. I wanted to do this myself, my way from the very beginning. I want to blaze my own trail, forge my own path, cut my own trail through the fucking fresh powder, fresh snowpack, and wherever it leads, it leads. But I never wanted someone to hold my hand or some like accountability coach, because that's just not, if I can't do this shit on my own, then I don't deserve to fucking do it. At the end of the day, and this is for me, for my goals. But yeah, I would never want someone calling me up, are you doing this, are you doing that? That type of shit just drives me banana bonkers.
Until I actually said it, now I'm like terrified. Yeah.
Because don't be fucking shitty client.
I relate to that so much from Brad. Poor Brad. He helped me for close to 6 months, man. He trained me for free, coached me on diet and everything. And man, I had that initial success those first couple months, and then I just stalled out. He used to get so pissed off. Well, bro, that's one of my goals throughout all this. After I get this fucking fat off, and I have the money to be able to do it, and I have freedom to move around, I want to go, because he's still training. I've looked him up. I think I found where he's at. I want to show up and surprise him one of these days, and do something nice. You know, get him do something nice for him. But because I've never forgot. I learned everything I learned from him. I've never forgot. He had a huge impact on my life, and he's a very important person to me. And I haven't talked to him in years. I actually called him once, I think like 6 years ago, just for randomly. But yeah. So that's funny. That's very relatable. I was a very shitty client to Brad, and I imagine they have a similar deal as I have with Brad. Like I bet she's training him for a discounted rate just because they're close friends.
I got you, bud.
What's a shitty client?
Like, I don't want to be asking you if you ate your food or if you...
Oh, no, I'm going to tell you. Every time I fuck up, I will tell you, I will text you.
Yeah, because if I have to find out, then you fired, and I fire people.
There you go.
You know me.
Well, you can't fire me as a friend, so you're fucked in that sense.
Oh, friends, we can be friends, but client and coach relationship.
Oh, god damn, this is going to be rough. Well, the stakes are up. Let's do this.
Let's do this. So here we are after a year.
So yeah, okay. On August.
Homegirl went on a little bit of a cut herself. She's toned up and leaned up. But yeah, see, that isn't a ridiculous, impressive transformation, you know, and so that's why I'm using this for this style of losing weight. I think he's done it as good as anybody. Almost no loose skin, very little loose skin, and yeah.
August 5th, 2023, I announced that I was going to do a bodybuilding show.
And my face.
And your face was pretty funny because on August 5th, 2023, I weighed 372 pounds.
Insane.
Which is 153 pounds more than I do right now.
Oh my God. And I was doubting you so bad, and I feel so bad now because, like, your transformation, dude. I'm so proud of you. I was like, literally, my face when I said no. I'm like.
But you said no, but then you like paused for like 8 seconds. You're like, wait, is this? Am I being pranked? Like, is it?
Yeah, I was like, because that was the last thing I thought you would say. I was like, because we came here and you were like, I have a big announcement for you.
Yeah. And I texted you that morning. No, it was like a 2-day prep where it was like something big's gonna happen. I'm gonna let you know. Get ready for it.
And you were like, let's hit the gym, let's work out, and then once we're done, we'll just sit down and I'll just like announce something on the camera, yeah. And you're the first person, and I'm like, okay. And I honestly don't remember what I thought that it would be, but when you said a bodybuilding show, in my head, I'm literally like, bullshit.
Like, there's no way. Like, he's gonna stick to it for a month and quit.
You're fat.
I was almost 400 pounds. Like, we're gonna 400 pounds.
Because
I'm gonna do a show.
I think that the reason why, in my head, I was like.
Now, real quick, the one thing I wish he'd have done is he would have taken his body fat percentage and his skeletal mass, his body composition before and after. That's because I don't see anything with that, and I mean, I think I understand why, and I'll show you. And this is what I mean. I mean, there's no hard numbers on this, but you see right here, see on this one, and then compare that to, where is it? It's right here. You see, that is actually crazy. So he said he did that in 40 days. Like, I don't know, I have to watch this again, but that's insane. But that right there, he's lost a lot of muscle from that to that, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want, but that's not what I want to do. And my body is not built like that. Like, I would never be 220 pounds. I don't know if y'all understand that, but that's literally 10 years old right there. 10 years old, 228 pounds. And then I got down to 187. Eating out of trash cans because I was forced to go on a super strict diet. And then what happened? About 8 months later, I was 350 pounds. So I went from 228 to 187, forcibly starving me. Like, literally, I was being starved to the point where I was eating out of trash cans and fucking binging on cat food because I was so damn hungry that cat food tasted delicious. Like, you want to know what hunger feels like? Get to the point where cat food tastes like fucking cheeseburgers.
Like, this is like impossible goal is because I've known you for years already, and I knew that you're lazy. You binge on freaking fast food. When I attempt to help you with your macros,
that went horribly. You
were like, no, and I'm like, I'm literally wasting my time with this person trying to give him a meal plan and help him to lose weight, because there were so many times when.
Shout out to you, Brad. I'm gonna surprise you one of these days and give you a big fucking hug, but thank you for all you tried to do for me, bro, and you did do for me, because I held on to a lot of that knowledge, and yeah.
When you share.
That's another thing is Brad actually, and I think she's going to talk about it here in a second, Brad actually was the first real masculine role model I had that wasn't like a crazy person. I don't need to elaborate on that more, but Brad was like, he taught me shit about women because he was a playboy, right? He used to be a male stripper. and he didn't like dudes because I guess they, you know, he'd get into fights or whatever. He liked being around women, and so he taught me a lot about women and all that, and which there might be in the future. There might be some fat bro pickup shit. I think there's an open market for that on YouTube. I think a lot of people would like to see that, and it's actually been a long time since I've actually done any kind of like pickup or talking or anything like that. I think I may have to do that because it's easy once you get all the fat off, but doing that. So let me know if that's something you'd want to see. I think that'd be funny. At least just going and like interviewing hot chicks at the mall or something.
That you've been dealing with, that only you've been experiencing because you were overweight, right? Like relationship-wise, like girls and things like that. And I'm like,
or lack thereof in that case.
Yeah, and I told you, like, fitness has changed my life. As corny as it sounds, like, it has changed my life, and I want to help you to experience the same thing. So when you announced it, I was like, knowing you prior to that and your commitment to even what I was trying to help you with, like, I've sent you meal plan. Have you ever thought?
And now this is one other thing, and this might be a personality flaw, this might be a bad thing, but I don't want anyone to ever be able to say they helped me do this. I want this to be 100% me. Like, I want to carry my own water. I want to carry my own ship. I've just, since day one, I wanted to do that. And that's like, I spent all this time learning, and I think that's part of the whole journey, because YouTube is the greatest library in the history of mankind. I've said that many times, more than the Library of Alexandria, the Library of Congress, all that, because that's just elite people shit. This is, YouTube is from the lowest peasant, homeless, drug addict, tweaker to the fucking president's most powerful people in the world. It's a library of all that, and it's the greatest knowledge. Everything you could possibly want to know about is on YouTube. It's the greatest library in history of mankind, hands down. That we know. Maybe there's some kind of crazy shit a long time ago that no one knows about, but in any case, so it's part of that. And I never wanted someone to coach me. I don't want someone to train me. I'm not going to follow anyone else's protocol. I'm doing this my way, the way that I want to do it. And I'm proud of that. I've spent hundreds of hours. I don't say that. I don't just bullshit. I've spent hundreds of hours teaching myself all this stuff and compiling everything into my own way of doing shit. And that's, yeah, for better or for worse, and that's probably a detriment, you know, if I just was able to just sit down, submit, and follow someone, I would have, who knows, maybe I'd have a lot more success, but that's just not my personality. I blaze my own trail, I go my own way, I don't follow anybody.
I think I did it for like 3 days.
Yeah.
But I listen to people, and I learn from people, so there's a distinction. I go my own way, and I don't follow anyone, but I do listen and learn from people. That's all I do is learn.
And then you were just like horrible client.
No, I'm not gonna do it. Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just wasting my time. And I was just like, no, I'm not doing this for him because he doesn't want it bad enough. So when you said I'm doing bodybuilding show out.
And that's there it is. If you don't want it, it doesn't matter. No one on earth can do anything, and that applies to many different avenues.
I was like, okay.
I think that that's a combination of two things. One, you can never force somebody to do something.
Exactly.
Until they're ready to actually do it.
Yep.
You're kind of shit out of luck.
Yep.
And two, I think I had finally reached like that inflection point, that real fucking moment where I was like, I'm done.
The rock bottom.
Yeah, exactly. The rock bottom. Thank you. Where like, and it was literally like I remember so clearly. I turned around in bed and I was out of breath. And I was like, this is fucked. Like
and then prior to the announcement, you also got some tests done, and it was like everything was like so bad.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of contributed to like, okay, I need to do something. And like for you, you were already like into like
the strongman.
You've been doing strongman, but you ate like crap.
Shit.
So it wasn't really helping you to change your physical appearance. However, you've been building muscles underneath already. Yeah. So it was just like you needed that wake-up call. And whether it was the blood test or not being able to breathe, turning, into in your bed, whatever it was, I'm so proud of you. Like,
I remember in that video, I said something along the lines of like, I think I'm gonna have to lose about 110 to 120 pounds.
yeah.
And that's honestly what I thought would have been possible. Like if I would have went balls to the wall for a full year, that's what I would have thought would have been possible. So like when I say that like I never expected to look like this by this time frame, that's ridiculous.
I think no one did.
I mean, like even after, because
You blew our mind.
Like I asked Derek Lunsford, Mr. Olympia, he said 3 years. I asked Half Thor, he said 3 years.
Yeah, I watched this video.
Connie Rambot said 18 months. Like nobody was ready for the great cut of the century. You know what I mean?
Insane.
And my social medias blew up because nobody fucking believes that it's true.
Yeah, it takes a lot of sacrifice and willpower and effort and just
Challenge accepted.
grind.
Because I went from eating like maybe $500 of Uber Eats every 2 weeks to absolute 100% consistency, not fucking up on my, the entire year I fucked up on my meal plan once, and it was just last week actually, where I don't know what happened. I just kind of like freaked out. I had an extra rice cake and a couple other pieces of chicken.
I know.
This right here, I want y'all to pay attention. This right here, and what she's gonna say here in a minute, but I wanna say this first. This, more than any other reason, is why I'm doing things the way I'm doing it. Slow, but also, well, it's not just building the muscle and maintaining my muscle and actually doing a recomposition instead of just losing a bunch of weight. But this right here, because you can lose all the weight in the world, but if you don't fucking fix this and your relationship with food, it's off. Because you're not going to eat chicken and broccoli for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the main thing, and that's why so many people would crash diet and then they gang it all back, because they don't learn how to be that new weight. They don't learn how to live that new lifestyle. They don't learn that, and then they get down, they reach their goal, and then you know what, I'm gonna have, let me have a cheeseburger. I'm gonna have let me have a cake. Oh man, that cake. Let me have some ice cream. Let me have damn, that's good. You know what? Let me have this big bowl of cereal. That's okay. I haven't had cereal, and that's so good. Oh my god, and they just, your brain just goes, whoa, give me the crack, bro. I want the crack. And then you just detonate. And so that's what I don't want to do, and that's what I am afraid I would do. He may have the mental fortitude not to, but that's where his battle is going to be now. He's going to have to learn to eat and be normal without just a crazy fat loss goal driving him. Once he's got his goal, and next November he has the next show, that's when his real battle begins, because he's got to, which I think he's going to be fine at it. I don't think he's going to relapse and gain a bunch of weight, because social media is who he is now. He feels good. He did it in a way that I think he's going to be fine. He's going to be one of those few percent that actually does it and maintains it. But I don't think I would have. There's just too much emotional shit. And that's another thing y'all don't understand. There is a lot of scars, a lot of damage that's buried in this fat that I'm going to have to deal with as I peel it off. Especially when I get to like 380. I'm actually nervous about that. There's just so much trauma and shit buried in that fat that I would be split myself open with a scalpel if I just smoked it. I gotta fucking, so that's another reason. But I am dealing with the food and the eating part of it as I lose it, because what y'all understand is this is the first time in my life I've ever been able to be consistent for weeks and months at a time. Yes, I've had my binges, so what? I don't care, because I look at everything from a cumulative standpoint from last November. I've accomplished more in the last 8 months than I have in the last 8 years. Actually, last 20 years, if not my whole life. This is the first time I've actually really worked at something and really applied myself at something. And, so that's the main reason, because, again, I tried the bro diet. I've talked about it. I've tried it. It wasn't just with Brad. I've tried it multiple other times because I learned what I learned from him. I tried to apply it. I never could do it. I cannot do the small 4 or 5 meals a day. I can't do that. Fasting, if I wanted to crash diet, I could do it with fasting. But I don't want to do it because I don't want to lose 20% of my muscle. Like, he clearly lost a lot of muscle, and now if he wants to be a legit bodybuilder and really go to war with like Olympians he does the peptides. I don't know if he wants to, I don't know what he's going to do, but if he wants to actually pursue bodybuilding, he's going to have to spend years now bulking that muscle back. I don't want to do that. I want to, when I'm at 300 pounds, I want to have that muscle. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm not saying he doesn't obviously look at him, but he has, I don't know how many pounds less than he had. He had way more muscle than that when he was 360 pounds. So you can just tell just in his arms. His arms is way smaller and all that. Yeah, he lost a lot of muscle.
I was like,
I was like, stop it.
Like, it was a rice cake, you're good.
I was like, stop it.
And I have a reason why I don't want to lose all my muscle, because I'm going to need it. Because I'm going to go right into competing and some shit. But we'll talk about that then. Right now, 250 pounds is my only goal. But I have other things that I want to do once I'm there. But I don't want to spend another year or two getting ready for it. I want to be ready when I get to 300 pounds. I want to be ready for war. I don't want to have to get ready to go to war.
But there I was crying at midnight after doing an hour of cardio, a heart rate of 140 BPM. Like,
yeah, this could be another topic for maybe our podcast together to
100%.
talk about how this, full respect to what you've accomplished, because that's not something that anyone can do, really, not too many. I don't think I know anyone who could do that. But it has its own pros and cons.
Listen to what she's saying. She's going to basically say similar to what I just said, but in her own way and probably articulate it better. But this is first and foremost why I didn't go this route. Because I wasn't here. I couldn't handle it here. I could get there, but then I wouldn't be able to maintain it. I would implode and self-sabotage. I have self-sabotage issues, and I have to deal with that. And it's a lot easier to do it bit by bit, like I've been doing. So I had those binges. That's what that is. I was at self-sabotage, trying to get me, and then, but I pulled myself out of it, because at the end of the day, what do I got to do? Lose 250 pounds, build the muscle, and in a reasonable amount of time, which I put as about 2 years. That's the amount of time where I think that's reasonable, within 2 years. So as long as I do that, nothing else matters. No criticism matters. None of that shit matters. All that matters, 250 pounds. And that's the first time that really clicked for me. And I learned, because I grew up in a really rough situation around Samoan gangsters. I grew up around a lot of fucking bad shit. Okay, so you learn not to talk shit, right, if you can't back it up. Okay, and so, it just hit different in a context of goal setting when Eddie Hall said, back up your bullshit. It was a very simple concept. When he said he was going to pull 500 kilos and everyone talked shit, when he was talking about that, because I learned a lot of my lifting from him. I binge watched all his videos going back early on in his videos, but they just clicked with me, and that's pulled me out of each binge I've had, and that was a complete game changer. So all I got to focus on 250 pounds. So yeah, I had a few bad days or a week, but then I'm just like, okay, who cares? So what? You had a bad week. You've had an amazing fucking 3 months at the time, or 2 months at the time, or 5 months, or now 7, whatever. You know, so just fuck it. Just get back on it. And then YouTube bros ask him where you're at, you know, and instead of sitting there freaking out and staying, you know, like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I got it, no. I did so good, now I'm slipping. No, what am I doing? You know, you just keep following that fucking thing. But instead of that, you just latched on that 250 pounds, and pulled me right back. It just snapped me out of it. And that's my cheat code I figured out. And I bet you that that's what he did. You know, his body. Well, I know that's what he's focusing on his bodybuilding show. So anytime he was fucking having weird thoughts, he's just like, nope, bodybuilding show, chicken and broccoli. And that's how he applied it, and it obviously has worked great for him.
Step on the stage for the second time in November, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you'll have to go through this whole new journey of like being okay to not always look shredded, being okay to not always be 100% disciplined if you want to have your life back.
Yeah.
Because right now your life is.
And that's I'm just taking the approach where I'm learning this as I do it instead of trying to learn it after I've done it.
Your show.
Oh yeah, my entire
It's a
identity is
hyper-focus.
summer shredding.
Everything. Like you just literally put everything on the side and you just like hyper focus on that one specific goal, and you'll crush it. I can't wait.
12 days.
Insane! Oh my god, I have like goosebumps.
So it's funny. In the summer shredding video, well, you guys are gonna see this before I actually post the video. But in my 2 minutes transformation class video, because they play the video for 2 minutes, then I go on stage.
I actually wish I was closer where this is at. I would love to go to it and support them because it's so impressive. And unfortunately, live in buttfuck Egypt.
Yeah.
So that people get to hear my story, and then there's like a fat picture of myself, and then I walk on stage. But like in that video, I have obviously the clip of us talking where I say I'm going to do a bodybuilding show, but then on this screen I say 1 year and 11 days ago, which is crazy to think about, right?
And when you think about it, like how many people say like, oh, it's gonna, when you tell them, oh, you want to lose 30 pounds, it's gonna take you up to a year. People think like, oh, a year, like why it can be done in 3 months. But think about how quick the year
Oh my
like,
god.
Time goes by so quick. Like I just cannot even believe that it's been already years since we've been sitting here in my bright orange sports bra with my face.
I had like I think my Shot Classic t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were sitting here with your big belly, just like literally. Oh, I can't believe it's been already a year.
It's been 1 year.
So anyone who listens to this, year is not that long, and you can do so much in a year.
I've got through the main points that I want to make. The rest of this is just kind of, I hope I explained it a little better. I hope y'all understand why I decided to do what I did.